Hey everybody, it's Greg Dudzinski coming to you live, Detroit's Love Guru. I got a question, and I figured it was on a former friend of mine's, or not former, but on a friend of mine's post. Actually, they were former college students of mine when I taught, and it's about the new 50 Shades Freed that's coming out next Wednesday, Valentine's Day, right? And I should get, actually promotional fees for this, for mentioning it. So the question was, and I could do a whole show on this, and maybe I need to, but I wanted to answer the question via video, okay? It might be easier to that. First, I'm going to read the post, okay? Someone mentioned, I wonder how many women who find the treatment of women by men so despicable are going to have to miss 50 Shades Free because of the weather tomorrow. I thought it was coming out Valentine's Day. Maybe it's coming out tomorrow. I know we're here in Michigan. We're supposed to get dumped on with snow quite a bit. I'm no prude. Reading something erotic in the privacy of your home is nice. Having it on a large screen being acted out, I personally find degrading because men without brains believe that this is how women want to be treated. I also wonder how many women's march partakers will flock out to see it. I shake my head in wonderment. And another one mentioned, the difference is how a woman may want to be treated in the privacy of a moment with their significant other. It's not beating someone. Then, Greg Dudzinski, can you help me with the difference between abuse and pleasure? Absolutely. And then, I agree, Kim. The problem is the perception that some men get from movies such as this, with all the sexual mistreatment of women being reported every day, and it has been sadly what's going on, and I definitely don't condone that, and the men should be persecuted for their actions about that. It is really bad timing for this to come out, and my belief is that women, especially those who have been so vocal about wanting changes made, should not support this movie right now. Read the book again and enjoy it. And this is a great question for Greg, me, and I look forward to his answer. My take on this, I respect everybody's view on this, and there is a difference. Kim mentioned that there is a huge difference between abuse and pleasure. And a lot of people, I could ask, friends of mine, Joe Court, who's also in the field, and renowned David Lee also about this situation, and maybe I'll tag them in this. And this situation, there is a big difference. And I tell, people all the time, even when I taught, was teaching human sexuality for a lot of years, and these individuals were in my class, and I even touched on this aspect. There is most women that are in this type of maybe dominatrix, that play the submissive, as in the 50 Shades role, being spanked, whatever, nipple clamps, and all this stuff. Most of those women, the subs, have more sexual awareness, have more sexual confidence than most women could ever imagine, okay? A lot of people look at, I would never allow my man to treat me like that. You might not. It isn't for everybody, okay? Again, most of those women, it's like 50 Shades of Grey, Kim mentioned, when I read, that there is a difference between abuse and pleasure. These women are not being abused. They are doing it because they want to. Because they enjoy it. There's that, fine line between, pain and pleasure, love and hate type of thing. And you look at the situation to where, it is not abuse. These women love it, okay? Now, if a woman does not enjoy it, there are safe signs, okay? The color, they might yell red, stop. Whatever the safe sign is, stop probably isn't going to be one of them. But in the wild side aspects, a lot of people don't understand, and I also agree that most men, as mentioned, without a brain, are going to think most women love getting treated this way, sexual. That is not the case, and it is not for everybody, okay? But and I agree, some men might take it over the top. But my woman wants me to tie her up and spank her and throw anal beads in her and all this stuff. Most women will not want that, okay? It's about talking about it. It's about discussing boundaries. It's about talking about trying something, but if you don't like it, it's not going to be brought up again. That is mutual respect. And that's where, 50 Shades of Grey, the movie, it is about mutual respect between two lovers, okay? Consenting adults. That's a big difference, okay? This is not rape. And I've said this numerous times, and I mention this over and over again. I wish, rapists would be tortured, okay? There's a big difference. Consent is huge. And again, and there is a lot of news, and unfortunately, all the news of late with the sexual misconducts and all this, that these jerks are, pressuring women and, sort of taking advantage of these women in different scenarios. You know what? Persecute their asses. I'm all about that. You know what? There's a difference between consent and, you feel entitled and you're groping and raping or whatever, misconduct. Huge difference. 50 Shades is not about that. It's about mutual respect and, permission and communication that is granted, okay? So you look at the situation of what you find pleasurable, what you don't, and boundaries. So it is not being, it's not disgusting, as some people might say. It's disgusting. I would never do that. You're right. You would never try. And I'm assuming a lot of people out there like that might only practice missionary sex with the lights on and thinking that's wild and kinky. That's good for you. But I don't want people to judge others that are in the dom-sub role. It's like, with couples I see that are in the lifestyle, swingers, they're poly, they're open relationship, sexual fluid, if you will. I'll borrow that term for my friend Joe Court. And looking at these dynamics to where, it is not wrong if it is consensual. So to go ahead and deem that this is, wrong and degrading to women, it is not. Like I said, most women in the sub roles, they enjoy it, they want to, and there's boundaries in place, and those boundaries are respected, okay? So it's a huge, I want people out there to understand, women are not being forced into that role. If they are, it's rape. If they are, being forced and manipulated on it, that's not consensual sex. And I talked about that a couple of weeks ago on the show about non-consensual sex and all this and what it means, okay? So with 50 Shades Grey, you can enjoy it. Go out, have fun. Maybe there's some things you want to try in your relationship, your love life. There's nothing wrong with it. Don't feel ashamed. Own it. I want to try this. I want to try it, and don't be ashamed of that. Don't allow other women or men, religious groups, to sort of dictate to you what you should like, what you shouldn't like, okay? That is a huge issue I have when everybody else tries to dictate, what you should like and about boundaries. You define the boundaries for you in your love life, in your relationship or marriage, okay? So, enjoy, have fun, and if there's questions, I'd love to get on this topic even more, and I'll do a radio show in the near future about this, okay? Peace and love, and make sure you share this, okay? Take care. Visit my website. It's up there, theartofrelationships.org. Take care. Peace and love, people.